Erica P, I saw this viral video online. I don't know if you've seen it, but I want you to check out this clip, right? And I want you to tell me, was the husband in the wrong or was the wife in the wrong? Check
Okay,
this out.
let's see what's going on. Come on. Go with that. Give it back to me now. Give that back to me now. That is my ex-husband. Give it back to me right now. Give it back.
I told you. No, I told you not to bring the urn in the house. You can take it to your mother's
I
house.
don't
you can
care
take it
what you
somewhere
think.
else.
I have a special place. He is not in the way. It's a special place in the house for you. Won't even know that it's there. That is my ex-husband's ashes. That is my ex-husband's ashes. Give it back right now. Right now. That is not disrespect. If it's my ex-husband, I don't see anything wrong with it. Give it back now. Give it back.
You are married.
It is not disrespectful. So what does that mean? Yes, I'm married. Yes, we have vows, but we have vows as well. So that is my ex-husband. It's just his ashes. He's gone. Like, what is the problem? There's no problem. He's gone. Like, really? Really?
This should be.
What are you doing? Give it back. What are you doing?
No.
Give it back.
No.
Give it back now. Give what? I know you're not about. I know you're. Put that top back on. I know you're not. Put it on my God.
All right, what is your take? Do you think the husband was wrong or do you think the wife was wrong?
I think the husband took it a little too far, so I'm gonna say he's in the wrong.
All right, I disagree. Okay, not that I disagree. Yes, he took it too far, but I believe the wife was in the wrong. The reason why I believe the wife was in the wrong is because I understand there are situations where people hold on to their ex-lovers that passed away or whatever the case may be, or their husband, blah, blah, blah. But why would you decide to marry again when you still are holding on to these, to these trophies, as I would say? I understand when you're dating or whatever the case may be and you're in a relationship, but you're not married. Yes, I understand you'll hold on to those things. But the minute you decide, hey, I'm going to cross that bridge and get married, that means that I'm now in a new chapter in my life. So I view it as what she did was disrespectful and she shouldn't have got married in the first place, especially when he said, yo, we agreed you wasn't going to bring this in the house. Because think about it, right? To me, we don't know like all the details or whatever the case may be, but it sounds like he was willing to compromise, knowing that, yes, this was something that was dear to her. So the compromise is you can keep the urn at your mother's house, but not in our house. So it's like, I'm going to give you that. But yet, you still going to take it further and disrespect and do that after we had a discussion about it? Nah, it seemed like you was testing your boundaries to see how far can I go with this. So I believe she was in the wrong.
Okay, now I'm gonna say it on the other end. I have a father who passed away. He is in an urn. My mom holds onto that urn. We don't know if she had kids with the ex-husband or not. Maybe she was holding it until the kids were able to rightfully take on the possession of it. So that's one thing. Just looking at it. Two, why are you going to send it to her mother's house? Her mother didn't have a relationship with that man. Because if you look at it, she was real adamant on, it's my ex-husband, it's my ex-husband. But you do not know, one, if she had full closure. So you might be right. She might have went into the next situation without having full closure of the ex-husband. Two, you do not know how long ago that it happened. There's no time limit on when somebody can grieve someone, new relationship or not. Ex-husband meant at one point in time, she loved that person. She had a life with that person. And yes, granted, it should not jeopardize the new life that you have. But if somebody is that jealous over an urn, someone who's already deceased, that is a problem for me. Because if you are that jealous of somebody who's dead in an urn, what else are you going to be that jealous about? And if you have the wherewithal to empty the ashes out in the grass and I can't put it back together, that is a problem. Because that is more of a control issue than anything else. If we're in a partnership, we're in a marriage. That means we are in this together. And yes, I may not have liked the conversation that you said where I need to go take it to my mama's house, but maybe I needed some time to cool down for us to revisit that situation. So yes, was she in the wrong for bringing the urn in when he said he didn't want it there? Yes. But is he also categorically worse wrong because you poured him out? That is something that I cannot get back. That is something she will not be able to put back together.
So in other words, you lied to me to get what you want. That's basically what you did. You basically lied to me and said, yes, the compromise is this urn will be at my mother's house. And that's the compromise so that we can get married again. So now that you got what you wanted, you're going to blatantly lie and test the waters to see how far can you disrespect me by bringing the urn in the house after we had this discussion.
Okay,
See, but the thing is, if he was to let that go, how does that show that you respect me? Because if you don't, for men, respect is more important than love. Because if you respect me, that means you're not going to cheat on me. You're not going to do things to hurt me, so to speak. Love is not going to prevent you from overstepping those boundaries, but respect for a person will. So I look at it as you lied. So if you're going to play silly games, then you're going to get silly prizes.
okay. Now think on the other end. What if my intention was to go take it to my mother's house? I get to the house with the urn. My mother said, you're not bringing that in my house. So now, what am I supposed to do? Had the conversation with my husband, said, yo, I'm going to go take it to my mama's house for storage for right now. Can't do that. So I didn't intentionally lie, but I didn't intentionally not have the conversation quite yet. Going, hey, I tried to have that conversation with you, but we couldn't. I didn't have the time to tell you yet.
I can't give you that narrative because if that was the case, why didn't she say my mother won't allow me to have it in the house no more? She was basically saying that's my ex-husband. I should be allowed.
I told you not to bring the urn in the house. You can take it to your mother's house.
Don't
or you can
care
take it
what you
somewhere
think.
else.
That's the way she was presenting it. If it was a situation where she couldn't have it there, I'm assuming you would have said that to lead off, especially as you saw how enraged the man was. So the fact that you didn't say that, I'm sorry. I have to go with the premises of this was what you wanted to do. Bump what y'all discussed. This is the decision I'm making. It seems like women will test the boundaries to see how disrespectful they can be and if you'll be allowed to get away with it. Because guess what? You give them a little bit of rope, you give them an inch. That's the term. You give them an inch, they're going to take a mile.
I wanted to discuss, like, one of my mutuals talks about how disrespectful women are and how men baby proof the world for women. And essentially, women don't have consequences for their behavior. And it shows. So I got a crash course in women's behavior in my relationship with my girlfriend because she would say very nasty spirited things. And it was very interesting to me. And it was very much a pearl clutching moment for me because I'm like, you don't realize, like, is this how women operate in the world? Like, this is dangerous, right? Like, I understand how women get in situations, get in domestic situations. I see how women get their ass whooped in relationships because women think that they're supposed to be able to say and do anything to anyone, and you're just supposed to deal with it, right? So when they encounter someone that's not as emotionally intelligent and is not as self-mastered, you end up getting mollywopped, right? You get your ass handed to you. You get kicked out on the street. Is this how you talk to someone that you financially depend on? Because that is crazy. I'm the person standing between you and the street. So then you end up surprised, right? When the relationship is over. And this is the thing. This is what I mean when this is what I mean. This is what my mutual means. This is what women mean when we say women have no survival instincts, right? That women don't have common sense. Women cannot do calculations. They don't have foresight. They can't do the math. because y'all put yourselves in situations and then you act like you don't know how you got there. You can't go back and assess every decision that you made that led you up to this. When I would bring up these conversations with my girlfriend, she would act like she didn't know what I was talking about. I'm in shock a little bit, not because of the behavior, but because of the lack of awareness around the behavior. Ma'am, you are a danger to yourself.
To me, yes, he took it too far, but what if it was a situation where it was like, yo, I'm giving you an ultimatum. It's either this urn or me. And she choose the urn over him. You haven't never been in a situation where you like, I look at it in his perspective, like he'll be like, yo, man, I should have dumped them ashes out. The fact that she chose that urn over me. So I don't know, maybe he was being preemptive, whatever the case may be. But it's like, yo, this is the decision I'm gonna make by pouring these ashes out. Now what? Where do we go from here?
To be honest, we go nowhere from here. You did. You saw how adamant she was about having the urn. And then you destroyed it. You desecrated it. You put it in the backyard. There is no coming back from it.
And
I don't trust you anymore.
You having the urn in the house, basically, I don't trust you because you broke the understanding or agreement that we had.
Okay, well.
So at the end of the day, you're the one that sparked this.
Yes, I might have sparked it, but you acted like a man-child and took it way too far.
You can't
too far.
You can't do something and then tell me how I should react to it. If it was that important, why not have the conversation?
Maybe I tried to have the conversation and you acted like the man-child that you were acting like in the video.
But if he said, I told you not to bring the urn in the house, and you do it anyway, you don't see that as a sign of disrespect?
I probably didn't agree with what you said. And I probably
bottom line is...
Like I said, we don't know these people. So I do not know if she could have honestly had that conversation with him.
We don't. But if you basically said to your significant other, I do not want XYZ in the house or whatever the case may be, and you do it anyway, that's disrespect.
It is disrespect, but what is the alternative? Because if you're telling me to take it to my mother's house, if she's telling me no, then where else do I put it?
The bottom line is...
But think about it. I'm giving you alternatives. Do you want me to go pay for a storage unit to keep the ashes in? Because now that's money coming out of the household, and you're going to be more mad that it's taking a priority, but it's not in your house.
The bottom line is, if you had that much of a holding on to your deceased husband, you shouldn't have got married. Again, it all goes down to you lied to get what you wanted, but you was never over this person, dead or alive. If somebody is not over somebody, you should not be getting into a relationship because you're always going to compare that person to your ex or whatever the case may be. So the way I look at it, you said what needed to be said to get that person to commit to you. And now I'm going to run amok and do whatever it is that I want to do. Do you agree? If you have that much of a hold on to that person, that person should get married?
I agree with you. You should not get married if you have that much of a hold.
So then what are we doing here with having this conversation about, the mother said this, the mother said that? The bottom line is you lied, you played silly games, you broke this man's trust. So that's the prizes you get.
Yeah, but my thing is, as an adult, you should be able to have a back and forth conversation. I should not have to be worried that you're going to damage something or destroy something when you don't agree with the response that you get. That is also not okay. Because looking at the way the video was, it do look like he was about to give the ultimatum, me or the urn. And knowing the way that she was treading, she might have said the urn.
So with what you just said, you don't see that she was given an ultimatum also of saying, hey, I hear what you said, but I'm going to bring this urn in the house anyway? Because, you're saying, oh, he should have reacted XYZ, but what about her initial reaction when he said no? This is what we agreed to, not to have the urn in the house or whatever the case may be. And again, we don't know if if they had this conversation. But the point I'm trying to make is if you can say, oh, he should have handled it better, or he's acting like a kid because he didn't get his way, she's acting like a kid because she didn't get her way after they had a discussion.
Correct. Now, do I feel like she's in the wrong? Hands down, I do. I do feel like if you felt the need that it had to come back with you, you should have had a better argument with your conversation. You should have had another rebuttal going, no, I can't take it to my mom's. You should have found another place. Maybe you could have stored it in a box in the shed somewhere or the garage. I do not know.
I'm still under belief. Go ahead.
But two rights do not make a wrong. Y'all are in a marriage together. And yes, I do strongly feel that the current husband is playing second fiddle to the ex that is deceased. Is probably what's happening. Because you do not feel that strongly about somebody who's dead and gone if it's not being either thrown in your face or a constant reminder. So yes, you are right. Bringing that urn into that home disrupted his safe space, and that was not okay.
I just want you to think about it like this. Say if you had a sibling that passed away, right? And then your parents are making everything to compare you to the sibling, and they're looking at you or undermining everything you do and holding the sibling that passed away over your head because they feel like that sibling was probably better or whatever the case may be. Who wants to go through life going through that? Who wants to go through life feeling like, yo, I'm not good enough? You're going to keep holding on, to this other child except for me. Do you know the dark path that it might send that person down? And you could say, oh, the husband is weak-minded, whatever this, that, and the case, or whatever the case may be. At the end of the day, we're human. You're trying to tell us we can't feel? Yes, you're going to feel some type of way. Who wouldn't? I guarantee you, if he was addicted to his PlayStation or something and wasn't really giving her a time of day, she'll feel some type of way. And one could turn around and say, well, he's not running the streets or, smashing other chicks, this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, it's, oh, but you're ignoring your wife. She's playing second fiddle.
His girlfriend deleted his NBA 2K account valued at $400,000, and this almost made him do something stupid with his own life. Everyone knows him as Pretty Boy Fredo, and his girlfriend, Jasmine, decide to delete his NBA 2K account, an account that had a considerable value around $400,000. For him, these games were not just a form of entertainment, but a significant part of his life and source of income. It was through that he was able to support his lifestyle, including his house and cars. Each achievement in the game represented many hours of effort and dedication. Jasmine simply couldn't stand the situation any longer. She argued that he spent too much time playing games, neglecting their relationship. Do you think this is a reason to do something like this?
Why? Don't ever touch them. Don't touch lights.
So why can't he feel I'm playing second fiddle to your ex after we had a conversation and I compromised for you to still hold your ex dear to you?
Right.
So it's like, I didn't tell you, yo, cut him off. All I said was, yo, here's the ultimatum. I'm going to marry you, whatever the case may be, because I love you, this, that, and the third. Just don't have the urn in the house. That's the only thing. But you couldn't even do that. You wanted to play in this man's face.
You're right. She earned the super prize for what she did.
Because you got to look at it if the shoe was on the other foot. If that was you, how would you feel? If you had a discussion with your spouse of, yo, don't bring your ex urn in here, whatever the case may be, you come home from work and it's sitting dead in your face.
I'm not even going to lie. I'm look, I'm lighting that bridge on fire. You going to be mad. We going to be mad together. Because I'm be like, oh, you really brought this in my house?
Look,
okay. I probably would have did worse this morning in the backyard. I know. I'm gonna be mad at myself because I'm like, you really tried me. Oh, you really tried.
I'm not justifying his reaction. His reaction was definitely overboard to pour the person's ashes out. But at the end of the day, if you invite that type of reaction, you can't act surprised of the reward you're going to get. Because again, I know you're supposed to be in control of your feelings, this, that, and the third, but I always say this, love make you do the darndest things, man. And when you feel like you got hurt from that love, you don't know what you're capable of. Final thoughts, Erica P.
Yo, you right. They make shows about this every day.
Snapped. You feel me?
I'm really not meaning to laugh on it. I'm being real lighthearted about this, but this is a serious matter.
It is.
Because we joke around about these conversations because somebody else has to talk about them.
Yeah.
And I feel like more and more people are getting into marriages and not realizing the hard work that it takes to be in a marriage.
Yeah.
You have to be able to freely communicate, and not just the communication when everybody's upset and screaming and fussing. You also have to be able to actively listen, because at times you'll most likely be talking about the same conversation, but don't see it the way the other person sees it.
And I look at it like this, man. If a person is not willing to let go of their past or whatever the case may be, or not even if a person, if you're a person that you still have emotional attachments, you should not be getting married. Like, plain and simple. You should not be getting into that situation. And if you're a person that you see the person you're dealing with still have emotional attachments, don't do it to yourself. Because how strong your love is eventually going to be tested. And when that time comes, you're not going to be happy about it. But at the end of the day, you can't act oblivious to it because you knew what you were walking into. So hopefully, you make the right decision when it comes to who you decide to marry, but let this be a telltale sign. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let us know your thoughts in the comment section. We would love to hear your take. Was this dude out of pocket, or was she wrong from the jump? Did he react? Did he go overboard with his reaction? We would love to hear your take on this. If it's your first time here, consider hitting that subscribe button and clicking that notification bell so that you can be notified for more content like this. With that being said, I'm your boy Walls P.
I'm your girl Erica.
This is Matter of Opinion, and we will catch you, ladies and gentlemen, on the next episode.
Peace.
Peace.
It's a matter of opinion. If I'm right, I'm leaving off for now to go outside, putting shores and obligations.
It feel good actually recording side by side again, huh? We ain't do this in a while. You feel me?
You just was ready. You was ready to put me back on camera. That's what that was. I had to go back on camera.
Everything went according to plan.